Hi everyone! So I think it's time that I do my version of my Mac horror story. This is not like the typical Mac horror story about customer service that everyone talks about. It's a little bit different, but still it's about who they kind of hire at Mac and what people I don't know why people feel entitled when they work at Mac, or it's just the people who choose to work at Mac who have this kind of personality. Again, I'm not talking about everyone, but um, there's a lot, I've heard a lot of stories, and this is what has happened to me. So back in 2011, I just graduated from makeup school. I went to New York and then I went to LA to study makeup, and I moved back home once I finished my studies because I didn't have a visa to stay in LA, which if I had the choice, that is where I would have stayed. I love LA and I enjoyed living there so much, and I miss it. I haven't been back since I finished my studies, but hopefully this year or maybe next year I'll be able to visit again. So when I came back, I took a little bit of time off. It was summer, I was having fun. And then after that, I thought, okay, it's time to find a job. So I went to Mac to buy something, and there was a few people there, and there was a lady there who's in charge of all of the Mac stores where I live. I live in a small island, and each city has one Mac store, and in my city they were just opening a mall, so they were opening a second store, so they were looking for people to work there. And as a coincidence, I asked, are you guys hiring or are you guys looking for people? And the woman who was there, she said, yes, we're having interviews tomorrow, so you need to come by before I leave for Nicosia, which is the capital city where the central Mac is, where they have all their documents and everything. So everything happens there. They're in charge of all of the shops. So she said, I'm leaving at 3 o'clock, so you better have your CV here before I leave so I can take it with me, and I can call you and tell you what time you can come for the interview tomorrow. So I rush home, I get my CV. I think I also gave a CD with some of my work, which I had photos from my portfolio and stuff. And I went there at 2 o'clock, so that was like an hour before she was gonna leave. And she wasn't there, she went to pick up something, and there was a girl there which I knew. She wasn't my friend, but every time I go to the Mac store, she's there. And also my aunt worked at the Mac store before, and she introduced me to her. And when I went to get my first stuff, when I was building my kit, before I started doing makeup, I studied photography. And I know I suck at taking pictures. I just left it there. I got my degree anyway, but I started experimenting a little bit with makeup once I was doing test shoots and stuff. So I went with my aunt to build a small kit and get a few eyeshadows, a few brushes, and a few things because she had like a 60% off because she was staff, something like that. So she helped me get my kit a little bit cheaper. And so she introduced me to this girl. So every time I went into the Mac store, I spoke to her. She was the one always helping me. She was always saying hi, and she was always very nice to me. So I felt like I could trust this girl, and I gave her my CV. And also that day, I think I had to renew my card from student. I was getting the pro makeup artist one. So I gave all my information in to update and renew my card. And well, the day passes by and I don't get a phone call for an interview. So I was like, okay, my CV maybe was not what they were looking for. Maybe I was not good enough for them. So I just let it go. Okay, I was upset, but I didn't think much of it. So a couple of months pass by and I go to the Mac shop to get something for my kid. And she's there, and I usually go in with my mom because, for one, back then I did not drive, not like I drive now. I do have my license now, but I just choose not to drive. I don't like it. And usually if I'm gonna go on my own, I'm gonna get the bus there, or I'm just gonna have someone drive me. So I went in with my mom, and usually my mom went with me anyway every time I went. So she saw how this girl was with me and how she always greeted me when I went into the store. And we went in and she was very strange. She was looking at the floor. She tried to avoid giving me service and helping me out, and some other girls stepped in, but the way she acted, and I saw her out because it's a small island, you see people out when you go clubbing or when you're going out having fun, and I saw her a couple of times and I tried to say hi and she wouldn't say hi to me. So things were starting to feel strange. I just thought I did something wrong, and I felt bad. I was like, what did I do to her? I'm always nice to her. Did I do something when I went to the shop? Anyway, and a couple of months again passed by and my card did not come in. I didn't have any news about my card. So one day I was with one of my colleagues, a photographer who knows the girls there, and we went in and there was 4 girls working at the Mac shop. There was the one I knew who I trusted would give me my CV. There was one that was never really nice to me. She would just say hi, but she was okay. I mean, and then there was 2 really nice girls. And then that day, I don't know why, but something came over me, and then he said, let's go to the Mac shop, something like that. I don't know how we ended up going there. We were doing some other stuff nearby, and we just said, okay, let's go. I think I wanted to check out something. Anyway, and one of the nice girls was in the shop. And I said, you know what? It's been a lot of months, and actually, before this happened, I said to my friend in the car, as I don't know, I had this feeling, I bet you they did not even give my CV out. I bet they threw it away. And after we went into the shop, I told the girl, you know, it's been a lot of months now and I don't have any news of my card, and do you know what's going on? Is there any way we could check, any way we can find out? And she goes into the closet and she checks, she finds the application for my card and my CV thrown in a corner. Which makes me think that they never gave my CV. That's why I never got called for an interview. I don't know if this happened by mistake, which I highly doubt this happened by mistake. And the girl said, I said, this is strange. What is my CV doing? Why didn't she take it with her to Nicosia? And she says, oh, we leave the CVs here. But I could tell she was trying not to lie to me, but then again, she felt very uncomfortable with what happened. And I called my aunt after that when I saw the CV there and it was just in a corner thrown with my application for my card, and I said, you know, this and this happened, and the CV was in Limassol for like 6 months now, and they told me that's where they keep the CVs. And she said, no, that's not where they keep the CVs. The CVs are taken to the central offices and they're kept there, and they look through them whenever they need people and they call them if they need staff. I was so upset, and my friend was so shocked because when I told him, I bet you they didn't even give my CV. He was like, don't say that. Don't be stupid. Of course they gave your CV. They probably just found someone else maybe. And when he saw it coming out of the closet, his jaw dropped. Like, and he was staring at me, and we went outside. I said, I told you. He was like, I can't believe you had this gut feeling that they never gave you a CV. And yeah, that's what happened. I was upset because I never had a fair chance to applying for this job. I mean, if I had lost it because I was not good enough for them, I would have felt okay with that. I would have felt like, okay, I tried. I was not good enough. When I improve my skills, I will reapply. And when I just graduated makeup school, it was my dream to work at MAC. I loved their products. I loved everything. And this is what happened. And after that, I just went there. I shopped whatever I needed, and that's it. I tried to be as cold as possible. I was still nice to that girl. I never said anything. I'm still nice to her to this day. And a few years later, the MAC girls came and told me that we have vacancies open and if you want to apply for the job. And I said no. For one, I didn't want to work with the people who did this to me. And for second, I didn't care at that point because I was getting a lot of freelance jobs and I was getting a lot of modeling jobs. So I was happy with my income, and I didn't want to get a steady job at a shop, and I didn't want to be a salesperson. I much rather go out there and work on movies and music videos, which is what I mainly do. And I was very happy, and I was glad I was able to refuse the job that I dreamed about before, and this happened. But this is just it's just horrible, and for me it's the most unfair thing when you want something and someone comes in between what you want if you actually really deserve it. I don't care if I lose something out of my own mistake or out of my own inability to fulfill their requirements, then I just improve myself. But when someone steps in and stops your way to get what you want, and it's just horrible. And yeah, this was my horrible MAC experience. It's nothing like everyone else's having terrible service and stuff. It was yeah, much different, and till this day it does upset me. But I think it did happen for the best. It was not easy trying to find clients and find people to work with and getting people to accept you and to build relationships with the people in the industry. I'm still struggling, of course, but I have my people who I work with, and I'm very happy with the jobs I get. I enjoy what I'm doing, and in a way I would like to thank them for doing this to me, because if it wasn't for them, maybe I would have still be working at MAC and not going out there and experiencing movie sets and all these amazing projects I've worked on and photo shoots. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope this was not a very long video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my makeup tutorials. Yeah, and thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye!